Hello and welcome, this is rooflemonger, and the Dragon Ball FighterZ show has now wrapped up, and they gave us a little bit of a preview of the patch coming out for Dragon Ball FighterZ, the one that's coming with Master Roshi. So we got a lot of stuff to go over, so there's going to be timestamps in the video description if you want to skip to certain places, skip to certain characters. Now, just so you know, not every character got changes. So Kid Buu, unchanged. Zamasu, unchanged. And yeah, I know. I know. It's stupid. Whatever. But unchanged she is. And some characters just got really small stuff. But we'll go through everything we got. And since the patch isn't out yet, I can't show you every single change. There'll be another video when the patch comes out to show you, like, visually every single change. But thankfully, we did get a few previews. Now, that all said, let's get right to it. So there isn't too much in the way of universal changes, but to show what is there, first up in training mode, we will have a new option. Counter-attack conditions can now be set in enemy settings. Don't know the full extent of what that is, but counter-attack conditions, that seems pretty obvious. Also, C-type assists are being changed across the board here. So it states here, spend the attack startup except when the opponent's in hit stun, reduce damage scaling. So what does this mean? Well, it means that they start faster as long as they're not in combos. A lot of C assists, they are pretty slow to start up. Now, a couple of them are pretty quick, like the beam assist, like say coolers. I don't think that one will be faster, because then it'll be faster than an actual beam assist, and if so, well, hey, okay, we're in the era of cooler C assists, but I doubt that, right? But most C assists, the ones that aren't beam ones, they're pretty slow. So they'll just be faster in neutral, and if you start a combo with a C assist, that means your combo will do more overall damage, as the reduced scaling just means there's more damage to be spread across the length of the combo. So generally speaking, as far as C assists go, hey, it's just thumbs up across the board, that's just a net buff. And the final of the three universal changes. So specific aerial moves, landing attacks outside of the screen high up in the air will now have a camera center back on the action, meaning basically you just can't go off the screen anymore. The camera will go all the way up. Now, it is very rare for combos to go all the way up past the screen, but I guess now those few combos, you'll still get to see the action. Now to get to the character specific, Super Saiyan Goku, yes, he's got his 2M back, sorta. So it's 12 frames startup now, so it's not quite as good as it was speed-wise back in the day, but it's certainly a dang sight faster than it currently is right now before the patch. Also, it didn't seem to revert anything else, so like the increased range, all that kind of stuff, hey, you still got it. So the move's faster than it was, and you keep a lot of the bonuses as far as the range goes, so hey, I'm pretty cool with it. Now, as for the rest, so yes, 2M is back for the most part. Once again, it says sped up the move startup, so the range not changed. You get to keep the bonus range, and the move's just faster. The aerial version of the Kamehameha, so when used as a mid-air follow-up, any hit but the final one will now cause a ground bounce. So basically, if you're using the aerial one, it bounces on the ground. So there's probably new combo potential there. Now, once again, patch isn't live, don't got it in our hands, so it's hard to see exactly what the combo potential will be. But still, hey, there you go. Now, as for the assist, so his A assist, that'd be the beam, just a bug fix basically. And his B assist, which is the double kick, it says sped the move startup. Now, that's pretty good because the move already is a very high block stun assist, so that's alright. So maybe it'll be a little bit more useful yet. Super Saiyan Vegeta, one change only. So his level 3 Final Flash, move starts up faster. It's been so many years of accidentally whiffing your level 3 after your B&B combo, and now it's faster yet, so hopefully you'll whiff it less. Piccolo got a lot, and for Piccolo we also have a little bit of a video to show some of the changes here, but first up here, so standing unique attack, that is your standing S. It will now hit opponents while they're in hit stun, and also standing, crouching, jumping, all the S attacks, all the grabs with Piccolo, right? They can now be delayed by holding the button, so you actually get a different version of the move. And looks like you might get more combo potential as well. Heavy elbow, that's your EX elbow, says reduce recovery when the attack does not start up. So I'm assuming basically if you whiff the move, much faster recovery, a lot safer on whiff. For Demon Slicer, says sped up the startup of the move when the opponent is in mid-air hit stun. Grounded version only. So we gotta have your 2 feet on the ground when you start it up. Medium Slicer says increase the hit stun of the mid-air version, so the aerial version. So this probably leads to more combo routes. Now there also is a change to the Hell Zone grenade. This is a visual change specifically here. So it says will no longer explode, like the projectiles themselves will no longer explode, when the attack is successfully deflected with a Z reflect. Meaning if you successfully reflect it, you don't get all the explosion garbage all over the screen. Now this is not the first time they've changed this move visually for this exact reason, for clarity. But now if you reflect, you still don't have to worry about, okay, after the reflect, high, low, left, whatever, like all that kind of stuff, just because you can't see what's going on, right? So it's just a clarity thing. It did make dealing with the Piccolo stuff a little bit more difficult just because you couldn't see what's going on. So, but it doesn't affect the gameplay of the move. It's just a visual clarity thing. There's also the Z assist, B assist. The character appears further forward, adjust knockback on mid-air hit, and increase stun time. Now, this nominally reads as a buff. It could potentially be a nerf for a specific Broly setup I have. We'll see, I guess, when the patch hits, because I actually have some Piccolo B Broly tech, whatever, we'll find out. But normally, on paper, this is all buffs. And a C assist here, added invincibility when the character appears, except when the opponent is in hit stun. So basically, Piccolo C assist now has some form of invincibility to it, as long as it's not in the middle of a combo. Moving on to Tien Gohan, just assist changes here. So his B assist, the character now appears further forward when he does it, and increase hit stop, meaning the screen will stop a little bit more when the hit connects, when the attack lands. So it'll just be easier to work with combos, basically. Easier than it currently does right now. And the C assist, the character position now changes based on the opponent's height. So it'll basically have a little bit of a teleporting to it, if you will. Slow down the attack startup except when the opponent's in hit stun. So the startup is slower except when they're in a combo. So just kind of a counterbalance to the universal change of C assist as we went over in the beginning of the video. For Frieza, B assist here, similar to Piccolo, character now appears further forward while doing it. And just like Piccolo, makes me wonder if that's a nerf, because it's the exact same setup I have for Piccolo B assist as I do for Frieza B assist for Broly, but we'll find out when the patch hits. And the C assist, character now appears further forward as well. Now also going on to Captain Ginyu, one change, his B assist. Added a move that calls Ginyu Force, changes each time Z assist is used. So basically the way it was explained is the B type assist for Ginyu, which calls like the Ginyu Force, now can also do their quarter circle forward moves instead of like just their S moves. So a lot more potential. It says it reduced Ginyu's recovery on the B assist and also changed the conditions which the Ginyu Force return. That one I'm not 100% clear on. We'll have to wait for the patch to actually hit. Going on to Trunks, so only changes its A assist, and it says increase stun time, but it doesn't say if it's block stun or hit stun. If it's hit stun, it's a buff. If it's block stun, it's actually a nerf, because he has very low block stun. It's a really good part of the move. Also it says here, increase hit stop when the attack lands, meaning when the move connects, the screen will just stop for a bit longer, meaning it's a lot easier to visually assess when you get the hit, and it's a lot easier for hit confirms and combos and all that kind of stuff. Now, Cell got quite a bit, and we also got some footage to go along with this here. So first is crouching heavy. Adjusted the position during camera shift, just basically just minor change. Perfect attack. Now this one's a big deal here. So increase the mid-air version's damage. Hey, more damage, more better. And jump and mid-air dash can now be used again after the mid-air version hits. So the footage we're showing here, just to give you an idea of how crazy this is. So you can already use your dash or double jump and then perfect attack, and then you get it back. So this version here, the combo starts with a double jump, then perfect attacks, and here's that perfect attack right here. So now we're gonna vanish out and do a homing, and then here comes another double jump, another perfect attack, and then gets an air dash afterwards. So this is way more air actions than you are ever normally allowed. And basically every time you do a perfect attack in the air, your air actions will refresh. This is a very, very big change. For the Kamehameha here, the opponent will now bounce off the ground when any hit but the last one of the mid-air version lands. Same change as Super Saiyan Goku, so new combo routes potentially. The assist, the opponent will now bounce off the ground when hit by any but the last hit. It's basically the same as the air beam, right? So potentially, once again, more combo routes. B assist, sped the move, start up, no one's going to use it. Ever, it sucks. 18, changes small but interesting. Destructo Disc. The explosion when the projectile hits the ground will now hit the opponent. So basically the move has been altered. So you can actually kind of detonate it if you aim it downwards into the ground. And also it says adjust the knockback, but not to, you know, what position or what, when, how, why. But potentially it's either you have a very small change with a nice little bonus, or maybe it allows for a new combo route, who knows. But still better than nothing. Also, the B assist, increased stun time, and adjusted knockback as well, just making that a little bit better. Moving on to Gotenks, and Gotenks also got quite a bit. Yeah, he got more than most, let's put it that way. So first up here, his Standing Light follow-up 1, that's his auto combo, right? Adjusted the knockback. Miracle Super Punch. A different special move performed during this attack will be performed after this attack hitbox becomes active. So you can cancel like Miracle Super Punch into Tornado Spin or Faint Beam or whatever, right? You can cancel the specials into specials. So the way this reads is basically you can just do it on whiff right away. So before you had to have a little bit of startup and help if the enemy was blocking. Now not so much. You can just go move into move into move even on whiff. Also, as an added bonus, the move's hitbox got extended upward, so it just hits a little bit better. The EX version specifically increased distance moved downwards during the mid-air version, also adjusted the knockback. Rolling kick, same deal as Miracle Super Punch, you can just cancel a lot earlier than you could before. The light version specifically, performing the upward kick while on the ground will now treat the character as being on the ground as well. Adjusted the distance moved during the attack, adjusted knockback, increased the number of hits for the mid-air version, adjusted the mid-air version's damage, I'm assuming upwards, and adjusted the mid-air version's delay. So just all around, just the light version specifically is getting changed quite a bit. And Galactic Donuts. So when the initial hit lands, a special move or Z change can be performed on the second half of the attack's animation. And we'll talk about what this means in a second here. During the camera shift, the super dash can now be performed with additional input, making this a lot easier during combos, especially to work with. And happy birthdays, all that kind of stuff, getting multiple hits, which is what the first part's also talking about. When the initial hit lands against a sub-character, here we go, that's kind of what I'm talking about here, the character will now enter a mid-air stagger animation, just helping with happy birthdays all across the board. And the initial hit can no longer KO the opponent's main character. Now that last bit, I'm assuming not too big of a deal, unless you get a little bit more meter, because the second hit will connect before it kills. I'm not a Gotenks main myself, so as far as I'm reading, that last little bit, just a nice little quality of life change. As for the assist, the A assist, that's also Galactic Donuts, so the same changes there. And the B assist increased the number of hits, adjusted the damage, I'm assuming once again upwards, because why wouldn't you, right? Otherwise it's just a nerf. And once again here, adjusted distance moved during the attack. For Krillin, we got some big stuff here, because Krillin's finally getting some big boy moves. What do I mean by that? Well, we got some footage here of some before and afters, because his Stan M and Stan H are big time buffed as far as movement goes. He travels a lot further on his Stan Medium and Stan Heavies, and the Stan Heavy to the point where it's almost more comparable to like Nappa. Maybe not quite 1-to-1, but it's got some range. As you can see right there, it's got some range now. So yeah, big time buff for Krillin on that when it comes to grounded neutral. Also his Kamehameha. So it says here the character can now move left and right while jumping. So after you've already committed to the jump, you can move left and right versus just doing it before you only jump forward or backwards or whatever. You can now kind of hover in midair. That's the way I'm reading it. And when performed midair, Krillin moves during the beginning of the attack. The down input cancels the movement. Now this is one I'm going to need the patch to actually play around with, but potentially could be big for neutral or combo ability. We'll see. And as far as his B assist goes, that's the beam, just a little bit of a bug fix. For Majin Buu, not too much here, so only his C assist change up here. It says character position now changed based on the opponent's height, meaning it's got some limited tracking. Also slow down the attack startup, except when it's hitting the opponent, meaning once again to counteract the universal C change buff. So Nappa didn't get much, but what he got was interesting. So the arm break, that's quarter circle forward, light, medium, or heavy. So extended the moves hitbox upward, that's kind of whatever, might be able to help with a combo, but the big thing yet to come here, just that the move's display time, follow-ups can now be performed during the camera shift of the held version. And here, the attack now causes a ground bounce when there's no camera shift for the held version. So basically when there's like no alternate camera, basically it gives you the ground bounce always, no matter what, is the way I'm reading this, right? And if it always gives you the ground bounce on the held version, there's going to be a lot more combo potential, a lot more combo routes we can work with. Because usually at the end of a long combo, if you use the held version, that's it. That's all. You're not getting the bounce. So if you can always get it now, hey, that's kind of a big deal. And specifically the EX version of the move, it says adjusted the distance moved during the attack. I'm assuming better, like more. Will now cause the ground bounce when there's no camera shift. Same deal as the held version of the arm break. It says here also increase stun time for the initial hit. Shorten the time holding the button charges the move. So you have to hold the button to get the whole big hit. And I'm assuming now it just means the EX version, the fully held version, comes out much faster. Once again, once the patch proper launches, then we'll get to play around with this a lot more and I can show this better in proper video form. But till then, it sounds pretty good. Now, 16, he got a lot. Now, will this take him out of bottom tier mediocrity? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but still, it's a lot. So they paid attention on that, unlike, say, Zamasu. So first up here, his jumping down H, that's the one where he kind of dive kicks on you. So it says here, increase the amount of sliding knockdown, adjusted the knockback during camera shift, I'm assuming for the better, and increase the input window for buffered input when landing. So making like cancelable stuff a little bit easier, that's my assumption. The flying power bomb. That is the one that's quarter circle back, light, medium, heavy, just so you know. A super dash can now be performed again on hit. Good, more combo routes, awesome. Specifically, the heavy EX version, a standing guard will no longer break the initial hit of the grounded version. The way that is written, I'm not too sure. We'll have to see for the patch. And delay the timing at which a vanish can be performed on the guard. So this move, in case you're not aware, if you do it grounded, it actually has a little bit of a shockwave before the grab part. So unless it's trying to say like it'll hit low or something, I don't know. The way it's worded is very difficult. I'm sure we'll figure out very fast once the patch comes out. The gliding power bomb, which is quarter circle forward, light, medium, heavy in the air specifically, says a super dash can now be performed again on hit. Thank God. Once again, more combo routes. It'll be good. You should be able to get more overall damage. We'll see. And also here, so dynamite driver, that's quarter circle forward, light, medium, heavy on the ground. Specifically the medium and the heavy versions, added armored invincibility against projectiles and Z assists. So you can basically just bulldog your way through garbage on the ground to get in and dunk the enemy. That's the way I'm reading this. So it'll be your screw you, I'm not respecting your stuff you're filling the screen with, all the garbage you're filling the screen with, and I'm going in, I guess, somewhat similar to Cooler's 3H to his dashing move. It says this is against projectiles, not just Ki Blast, so I'm assuming this means like proper beams and all that kind of stuff. It says adjusted timing at which the Ki Blast invincibility begins, so this move is always invincible against Ki Blast. So maybe they have two different startups, I'm not sure, or maybe it just changed it to start at the same time as the all-around invincibility against projectiles and assists. This one here, this next one's interesting here. So Hell Heat close range, because there's the far one and the close one, right? The close range one says the attack can now hit opponents in a sliding knockdown, so it can like OTG you. He doesn't really get too much in the way of sliding knockdowns outside of like say light dunk or something. So unless you can just do that as a direct follow-up, I don't know. This one's interesting. We've got to play around with the patch to see how this works. But I'm very interested to see how this goes. And as for the assists, so his A assist, the increase the number of hits, adjusted damage, I'm assuming upwards, adjusted the hit stop, I'm assuming upwards, because otherwise it's nerfs. So just making it a little bit better all around. And B-type assist, increase the number of hits, which I'm assuming that makes each punch multi-hit unless they're making him shoot more than 2 arms, which would be weird, but I'd be all for it, I guess. Adjusted the damage for a single hit, I'm assuming upwards. Reduce the opponent's hit stop on guard, which is a little bit of a nerf, a little bit of a buff. I don't know, it depends how you take it. So basically just less screen stop when they block it. And reduce the opponent's block stun. Now, if it reduces their block stun, I'm assuming it'll be low. I don't know. This is a move, the B assist, if you're not aware. This is like the kind where you can like reflect out of or homing dash out of, super dash out of. So the way that's written, like if they're mashing reflect or something, maybe they'll screw up, or if they're mashing homing dash and you can just easily more hit them. The move's fairly high block stun as it stands, but it has a weakness of they can reflect out, super dash out. So I don't know. Basically, we gotta wait for the patch to see how that works in proper play. So overall, definitely buffs for 16. But will they be enough is the question. I would definitely give him more. Like, he's definitely going to be able to do more damage overall with combo routes. That's good. But we'll see where it takes us in the end. Yamcha, basically in the end kind of just a nerf, that's it. So Wolfang Fist Flash, that's basically EX Wolfang Fist, the one you spam non-stop, right? So if you whiff the move, so if they don't block it, you just completely miss, the delay will be increased, so he'll have more recovery on whiff. So while it's still a good move to spam, all that kind of stuff, you're going to be a little bit more output, you know, just a little bit more disadvantageous if you whiff the move. So maybe just think a little bit more before you start smashing the buttons on your pad, I guess. And for his B assist, just basically bug fixes. Tien is another character that got a lot. First up here, crouch medium attack, that's his little sweep here. Increase the duration of the attack, meaning has more active frames. Extended the move's hitbox horizontally, so it goes out a little bit further, that's good, that's just straight buffs. His standing S says sped up the move startup, good, because he had a really bad Ki Blast. Jumping light extended the move's hitbox upward, might make a few combos a little bit easier. Jumping unique attack, that's his jump S. Sped up the move startup, once again good because the moves suck normally. Delayed the time it takes the beginning of the attack for the character to pause midair. That one to me, gotta play around with it, the wording's a little bit odd. Volleyball Fist. So adjusted distance moved during the midair, the aerial only version of the attack. Volleyball Fist follow up 1 heavy, so follow up 1 and 2 heavy, this means the EX versions. So follow up 1, increase the move's damage, follow up 2, increase the move's damage, but reduce the recovery during a camera shift. So it might make it a little bit harder to do combo stuff if you get the camera shift, meaning you basically use the smash on it. That one we'll have to see, I don't know. The wording by itself doesn't mean too much, we'll see when we get the patch. Crane Strike, so reduced recovery on guard, so you as Tien recover faster, and reduced distance moved when the attack is guarded, meaning you as Tien will also be closer to the enemy, so you win some and you lose some on that one as far as the way I'm reading it. Dodon Ray, so it says the character now moves at the start of the mid-air version, down input cancels the movement. As for what the movement is, once again, I don't got the patch with me, so I'm not too sure, but Apology Man was very excited and he got to play around with it, so I'm assuming it's pretty good. Tri-Beam and Neo Tri-Beam, so both, when Tien's the anchor and he's the last character alive, no one else is alive, he's the last character, limit break, all that stuff, it now takes only half as much health as it used to. So it's gonna keep Tien in the game a lot longer, and yo, those Tri-Beams, they hit hard. In case you don't know, right? So for him to lose even less health, and once again in Season 3, he lost less health already, so to lose only half of that already less health when he's the last character up, means he's going to be a very strong anchor. And also Farewell Tien, which is the best scaling of any level 3 in the game, says the damage is increased. So the minimum scaling, the least amount of damage it can do is 2,160, and if that's even more, well then, hey, man, okay. Tien is doing some big time work as an anchor. And yeah, so all of this, man, good stuff for Tien. I'm very interested to see how the Dodon Ray and the air stuff changes out, because having movement with that just seems very interesting. Gohan's A assist moves forward a little bit better, I guess. I don't know, that's it, nothing else. Hit got some stuff. So crouch medium attack, that's his big stomp. So increase the duration of attack, meaning it has more active frames. Crouching heavy attack, increase the distance moved during the attack when it's performed in a Z combo. So I'm assuming he moves forward a little bit more. I'm not too sure. Maybe it'll help with corner carry. We'll have to see. Forward medium attack, that's the universal overhead. Increase the duration of attack, so more active frames. Stand heavy, that's a big boy move for him. So his stand heavy, increase the duration of the attack, meaning more active frames. The recovery frames difference of the attack has been stabilized, and legitimately I have no clue what that means. Increase the time it takes for the attack to cause a wall bounce on hit. That might help with combo potential, we'll see. And adjusted the character's position on hit, and his name's Hit, so that's funny, a little bit of wordplay. I don't know what that means at all. That's something we have to visually see, sadly. Time release, so that's his lasers, and you can choose a direction and attack button to get different lasers. The upward versions of the lasers increase stun time, and his B-type assist sped the move startup, which is good, because it gives at least some difference, some reason to use it over his A assist, which is pretty much way better. But if it's faster to a decent degree, then maybe there's the reason to use that B assist. glue Goku not too much here. So his A assist sped the move's startup up, which is awesome. I think the assist got so much better in Season 3, and now it's faster yet. The character now appears further forward. Awesome. Adjusted the distance move during the attack. Now that one's a little unclear. We'll have to wait till we get the patch. But yeah, that's basically a buff to a move that got a wild buff in Season 3. So hey, thumbs up on that. And his B assist adjusted distance move during the attack. I'm assuming giving it more distance, because otherwise, hey, that'd be a nerf, and why nerf it? So I'm assuming just more distance. Now, Blue Vegeta, he got a fair bit, and we also got some video to go with this. First up here, so standing, crouching, jumping, unique attack, jumping down, unique. Oh, this is all his S moves, his Ki Blast moves. So enlarged moves hitbox, so the move it's just bigger, basically, the Ki Blast. The move will now be performed even if the heavy attack button is pressed. The conditions are changed when performed repeatedly. Adjusted knockback, big bang attack, super attack, or meteor attack, that's your level 3, can now be performed if the attack misses. But here's the thing, so the big problem was you couldn't cancel into your down heavy, right? And you still can't. They said on the stream, you still can't do it. Now, yes, you can cancel like super or big bang attack, whatever, but you still can't do a down heavy, and I have no reason, or I have no understanding why that choice is made. Unless it's like literally not possible to fix it in the game's code, I don't get it. But hey, that's what it is. Crouching unique attack, the down S, that's where he shoots it upwards. Increased stun time. Jumping unique attack, that's just jumping S. Adjusted distance move during the beginning of the attack. Sped the move startup, increased the start time, reduced the amount of hit stop on hit, increased delay. Trajectory now changes when it's performed in a mid-air combo, and trajectory now changes when it's performed during a Z combo. Jumping down S, once again, this is just another an angle of the jump S. No longer causes the character to pause mid-air, so he will keep his momentum now when moving. Sped the move startup, increase the stun time, reduce the amount of hit stop on hit, increase delay, and once again, just combo stuff. So yeah, so some big changes as far as those go. The Ki Blasts are better across the board. It's just that weird thing where we can't down heavy on the Super Dash. You can do other stuff now, but whatever, I guess. Super Dash Kick, this is all the Rekka stuff. So increase the amount of additional damage dealt by follow-up attacks after the heavy version, giving you more reason to use the EX version, because there was not too much reason to use it at all, honestly. For a starter, the Super Dash Kick follow-up 1, increase stagger and stun time, that's a buff. Follow-up 1 medium, because light, medium, heavy are all different. Increase the move's damage. For follow-up number 2, adjusted the knockback during camera shift, that one I'm not too sure about. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give you a 3. Those are the command grabs. So reduced recovery when it whiffs. So if you don't get it, then you'll recover faster and maybe not get blown up for it. And specifically the light version sped the move's startup up. So it doesn't say how many frames it'll be faster by, but it will be faster. And increased duration of the attack, so it'll have more active frames. So it's just a better move all around. Oh my god, listen to my voice. Okay, I got my voice back here. I'm not even going to retake that. That's when you talk all day, this is what happens, right? Niagara Pummel. So Niagara Pummel, increase the distance move during attack, so it goes all the way now, right? So you can actually use this as like a counter zoning tool, almost. Extended the move's hitbox upwards, makes it easier to hit folks. Distance move now changes based on distance of the opponent, so just basically relative to where they are, so the active frames doesn't change. Yeah, adjusted the camera shift when performing additional input because this move is modular. The character can now move before landing when additional inputs hit the opponent. So maybe more combo potential, and his level 3 sped up the move startup just like regular Super Saiyan Vegeta. Beerus, not much, but interesting. So we got some video on this one here. Crouch medium attack now basically goes to full screen. This is something they've been buffing over and over and over since the beginning of the game's life. And this is not necessarily what he needs, right? Like, yeah, it's nice. It's definitely a buff, but it's not what he needs. But yeah, specifically, sped up the move startup, increased the duration of the attack, more active frames. Distance move now changes based on how the opponent is, so the active frames don't change. And his assist now shoots 2 projectiles instead of 1. This A-type assist. And does more damage. So as the video is showing, you can now basically go in like spear bombs and stuff with base Goku. So yeah, that's it. Maybe not what you wanted, but it's what we're getting. And speaking of maybe not what you wanted, but what you're getting, Goku Black. So, okay, let's just read it out first here. His B assist now Has increased distance moved during the attack, so it goes further. C assist, sped up the attack startup. That's it. For Goku Black. Oh my, I don't even know how to phrase this. Yeah, so Goku Black's really bad and he didn't get nothing. And this is going to be the last patch for a very long time. So he's just going to be bad for the rest of the year. And maybe for the rest of the game's life. That's really all I can say. 21. Not too much, but still, it's good what's there. So stand medium, that's the tail whip. Now moves forward before the attack. So the move that already had a lot of range is getting even more range. Excellent full course, that is a level 3. Attack now tracks to the opponent's height where they are mid-air hit stun. So basically it's just going to be easier to hit the way I'm reading it. So decent move becomes better. Not like it's going to do more damage, but hey, there you go. Bardock, one change only, and I think you know what it is. It's the B assist, and it got nerfed. Just like Super Saiyan Goku down M got memed into being nerfed, Bardock B got memed into being nerfed. Did it deserve the nerf? Whatever. Screw Bardock. Honestly, no one's ever going to defend Bardock, right? So no one's going to shed tears over this, but yeah, so no longer goes full screen. That's the big takeaway here. There was those of you who said, rooflemonger, Broly's gonna get nerfed, don't be stupid. And what did I tell you guys? I told you guys to grow up. And you know what? I guess it's time to grow up, boys, because not only did Broly not get nerfed, Broly got buffed, because of course he did, because I said he was gonna. So maybe these buffs aren't monumental, but still, standing light attack follow-up 2. This is the one where he gives you a big old hug then kicks you in the face. Can now be jump cancelled while you're in Sparking Blast, so you don't always have to burn your Super Dash during it. And his B-type assist, that's kind of like the wannabe Super Saiyan Vegeta A assist. Increased distance move before the attack. I'm assuming backwards, as it does move you, or rather it moves a bit backwards. So it'll be more like a Vegeta A assist. I don't know too much yet. We'll have to see it in action. But yeah, so no nerfs, just buffs. Broly's the best. I've been telling you this guy's like since the start, since he came out, right? And it took so long for everyone to adopt the fact that Broly is God forever and he is king and we are all his subjects. And now you know. And you know what? Look forward to the next patch, Season 4, when he gets more buffs. For Vegito, just one change here. His B assist, increase the distance moved during the attack. I'm assuming more distance forward. And increase the hit stop on the initial hit of the attack, meaning basically you'll have more time to hit confirm stuff if it connects. So basically it's just a little bit better. Base Goku, some pretty interesting stuff here. So ×3 Kaioken Kamehameha. First up, delayed the timing needed to perform an ultimate Z change. Just basically easier to Z change combo stuff, which is great. That's fine, right? The B assist. So it says increase the amount of key gauge that's filled. So if you're not aware, it just gives you meter, it doesn't attack. And the way they phrased it, it gives you a full bar every single time you do it. And man, so like it giving you quite a bit of bar already was really good. But if it gives you a full bar every time, man, that could be meta changing. You know, some characters get pretty bar hungry, spamming a lot of EXs, and obviously EXs are a lot better in Season 3. And a full bar every time your assist is up for basically like 0 risk, 0 consequence. Ooh, I don't know, man. We might find the team that really abuses that. The Morgan Dark Harmonizer of Dragon Ball FighterZ. We'll see. I don't know. But to me, that's pretty big. For base Vegeta, one change. It's a nerf. There's almost no nerfs in this whole patch, right? This is definitely a nerf. So Super Dash Kick Heavy. This is the teleporting EX rocket kick, right? So delay the timing at which the character becomes invincible. Basically, he becomes invincible later, not earlier. And increase the delay if the attack misses. So if you whiff the move, then you're more SOL than you were before, because it's basically 0 consequence to spam this move at all, right? So this move definitely got hammered down a bit. We'll have to get the exact numbers and play around with it with the patches live to see the full extent. But hopefully this means you can't just 0 consequence spam this like crazy like you could before. Otherwise, he's still the same character besides this, which means he's still absolutely one of the best characters in the game. Cooler only has one real change, but it's a pretty interesting one. It has to do with his level 3. So the patch notes first as they read. The opponent no longer displays a guard motion during the attack. Increase the duration of the attack. The heavy plus unique buttons for the grounded version of the attack will now throw the opponent like the mid-air version, meaning it has an alternate use. So like several characters, like say Dragon Ball Z Broly, has 2 level 3s that are basically the same move, just a difference. And now this new secondary level 3 is a true command grab super. So like Trunks or Android 16, something like that. So he now has a command grab level 3, and you can choose which one's which, right? So basically, this gives him a way to open people up. Now, it's a very expensive way to open people up, to be sure, right? Because it costs you 3 bars, but still, it's something he didn't have before, and now you kind of got to respect it, because like many cinematic level 3 grab supers, once the flash happens, once you see the animation, it's too late. You cannot jump out anymore, right? So, if Cooler has 3 bars, you have to worry about getting Zangiefed on. You've got to worry about getting dunked. So, it's an interesting change, and it's not like a world changer, but still, it's something. 17 got some interesting changes as well. We got some footage as well for this one. So, basically his Rekka series, they can now be done in the air. So, second gear, added a command, allowing the move to be performed in the air. Fake out, added a command, allowing the move to be performed in the air. So yeah, you can do the Rekka series starter in the air, and as far as I can tell, you follow the ground, then you get to do all the follow-ups. So that's pretty cool. Reverse gear, increase the time it takes for the attack to cause a wall bounce during the camera shift, and adjusted the pause during a camera shift. Reverse gear is the shield into the blast, so if it takes more time to have wall bounce after the hit, maybe it'll give more combo ability, not too sure. His B-type assist, the character now appears further forward, so just making it a lot easier to use in either like pressure, block strings, all that kind of stuff, I'm assuming. So it's not like the world, but it's some interesting changes, and definitely could change the way you want to play him. Jiren, oh my lord, we fought long, we fought hard for Jiren buffs, and we finally got him. Now, will this be enough to push him out of the hole he's in? We'll see. We'll have to get the patch and play around with it, but still, we got it, and there's a bunch of stuff. So first up, Crouch Light Attack. That's the one where he kind of hits you with the fist and has no scaling, unlike many other lights. Sped the move's startup, meaning it's faster than it currently is. We don't know how many frames faster, though. And adjusted the distance moved during the attack. Could be further forward, could be further back, I don't know. I'm assuming further forward as a buff, right? So making this move even a frame faster is just a strict buff. It's just good, because if he opens the combo up with this, he does way more damage than most combos because there's no light scaling. So yeah, big deal on that. Standing heavy attack, that is his command grab. Well, not the command, I guess, but you know what I mean, right? This is grab. So sped the move's startup up, it's faster. Increase the duration of the attack, I'm assuming more active frames on the grab. So the way it was explained in the stream, it's not a 24 frame grab, even though it should be. It's 26 frames instead of 28. I guess we'll know the exact numbers for sure, but that's the way they phrase it. So we're slowly getting there. We're not there yet, but we're slowly getting there. Any amount of faster frames is better. Standing unique attack, that is the stand S. Added invincibility to Ki Blast. So if Jiren himself cannot be hit out of the startup of this move, in Ki Blast War, then yo, neutral Jiren just got a massive buff. Because once again, his stand S is special in that it hoses homing dashes, super dashes as well, right? So yeah, this could be a massive buff to Jiren's neutral. Jump M, that's the double elbows. Enlarge the move's hitbox. So it might make certain corner combos easier with like jump back and all that kind of stuff combos. And it might make it better for him to cross people up, because Jiren's left-right cross-up potential is pretty bad. So this could be a big buff to that. Infinity Rush. That is quarter circle forward, light, medium, heavy. It has reduced recovery if the move does not hit. So if it whiffs, all the better yet. You get to recover faster. The EX version specifically sped up the move startup. Now the EX version has a lot of range. So it might be all the bit better if it's faster, just to randomly toss out neutral, see if you catch someone. The Shock Tornado, this is his physical counter. So as it reads, added invincibility to projectiles and Z assists, so you're not going to get stuffed by any of those. The move is no longer interrupted if it is triggered by any other attack than the opponent's main character's physical attack. So basically, if anything other than the main character, the guy who is currently tagged in, no one else can trigger it but that. Now, Counter Impact, that is the anti-projectile counter move. Added invincibility to physical attacks. So no physical attacks work, and man, there might be some weird gimmicks there where you're calling an assist and you purposely want to be invincible to physical attacks. I don't know, we'll see. Adjusted hit stop when stopping an attack. Sped up the timing at which Jiren can perform a vanish after stopping the opponent's attack. Increased the duration of the attack after stopping the opponent's attack. Fixed an issue in which stopping some attacks will cause the character to face the wrong direction. Reduced the time window to stop the attack. Increased delay. So basically the way I'm reading all this is it doesn't stop the issue of people vanishing out of it, that kind of stuff, but it does make it a lot harder to do it, and you're going to have less time to do it in. That is the way I'm reading it. Once again, once we get the patch proper, we'll see. Maybe my interpretation of this is incorrect. So while it doesn't fix the key issue, it makes it basically a lot harder for people to deal with it. Grand Charge. This is Jiren's anti-projectile move that goes like a half foot, which so was never a good anti-projectile move. Says increase distance moved during the attack. And during the stream, it was stated the distance moved forward is now fairly significant. So you can actually ideally use it in the way it was meant to be used all along. And finally, Jiren's C assist is now just invincible to Ki Blast. So all in all, a lot for Jiren. We're going to need the patch in our hands to see how this plays out. But overall, I'm more excited for Jiren. His neutral is going to be a lot better if Grand Charge goes as far as I think it should. The fact that his stand S is now immune to Ki Blast means he can laugh off a lot of neutral in that kind of regard. We're just going to have to see. Counter Impact, if it's way harder to react to and vanish it on just when you see it, then that's going to be awesome because now you can use it as it's intended. Crouch Light Change, even if it's a single frame, that's a big deal. I don't know. So Jiren, he's definitely not shooting the top tier. He's not going to do that, right? But he might be able to claw himself out of the doldrums, so awesome to that. Ooh boy, Videl, we got some changes here. They've been listening. Some stuff, except for the Z Reflect, which isn't changed. It's still going to be this way, but we got something because reduce the time until an action is performable after the invincibility is triggered, so she can recover a bit faster after successfully reflecting, quote unquote, something. But yeah, she can't do a normal reflect still, but hey, we got some other stuff to work with here. We got some video as well. So standing light attack extended the move's hitbox downwards. Crouching medium attack, that's the big old sweep, sped the move startup up so it comes out faster. Standing unique attack, that's a Saiyaman call, increased stun time, adjusted knockback. Crouching unique, and that's the other Saiyaman call, increased stun time, adjusted the knockback. Jumping heavy, extended the move's hitbox upward, and jumping down heavy, this is a big one, and increase the stun time, adjusted knockback. So she has whole new combo routes that are possible that just could not be done before. So this will basically increase her effective damage. Besides the lack of a reflect, her bad damage was another key thing holding her back. So whole new combo routes, hey, great, that's awesome. Gonna help her out. Now from there, jumping S also sped the move startup up, which is amazing because that's a really good move. It's one of her best moves. Increased stun time as well, so that's a big buff to basically her best move in my opinion. The Videl Rush, so the light version sped up the mid-air version startup, so not the grounded, just the mid-air. The EX version increased the distance moved during the grounded version of the attack, and also sped up the mid-air version as well. For the follow-ups here to the Rekkas, the Videl Rush, so follow-up 2, increased moves damage, hey, straight damage buff, that's good. Follow-up 3, adjusted knockback, they're not saying specifically where they're adjusting it, I'm assuming for the better. And Frankensteiner, that's her grab, sped up the mid-air version startup, adjusted the distance moved during the attack, assuming for the better. Defender of Love and Justice, Great Saiyaman, that is her counter super. The damage dealt to the opponent is now recoverable. That's generally been the rule in this game. If your move is invincible or something starts up on frame 1, the damage should be blue damage. Now it is, just the damage scaling. So this is a nerf. So even though this is like 99% buffs, this technically is a nerf. So you can say to your friends, yes, Videl got nerfed, and get holier than thou about it if you want to. But yeah, overall, big things for Videl. This potentially can give her a whole new lease on life. We'll see. I'm not a Videl fan myself, but I'm very happy for the Videl people who are out there. They're getting this, because this is a lot. For GT Goku, we have a very small change list here. The Kamehameha change for Cell, for Super Saiyan Goku, same deal here. The opponent will now bounce off the ground, potentially getting new combo opportunities. And his B assist increased the distance moved during the attack, I'm assuming more distance, not less, and extended the attack spacing, which is some very odd wording, but basically the B assist is better. So for Janemba, first up here, Dimensional Hole, this is the projectile counter, added hit stop to the counter attack. Hell's Gate, this is the EX version specifically. states that it has reduced delay. I'm assuming that means faster recovery, adjusted the distance moved during the attack, although it doesn't say more or less. And Z Assist 8 type, so this is his projectile, like quasi Super Saiyan Vegeta A assist, right? Sped up the move startup, so hey, that is a straight buff. That's a great assist. Because unlike Super Saiyan Vegeta's A assist, this goes everywhere on the screen, right? So making it faster startup, awesome. That is a big buff for the character. So Gogeta, this is a big one. A lot of people wanted buffs for the characters, and buffs is what he got. So we also got a little bit of footage here, which we'll play in a second. But first up here, so standing light, crouching light, reduced delay. They have better frame data. A lot of people wanted better frame data. Better frame data is what we're getting. Gogeta could be punished on a lot of basic strings, right, if he didn't follow up. And now that is no longer the case. Now, we'll see if the frame data is to everyone's liking when it's all said and done. But yeah, so basically all the stuff has better frame data. Stand medium, faster startup. Crouch medium is now, I used to meme this is like Kami Spiral Arrow. Now it is totally Kami Spiral Arrow. So it starts up faster and goes further. And it already went pretty far. And now it goes all the further yet. So yeah, this is a crazy tool. Jumping heavy attack, sped up the move startup. Enlarge the move's hitbox during the beginning of the attack, so it has a bigger hitbox at the start. Standing unique attack, that is standing S, that is a beam. Sped up the move startup, so better beams. Jumping S, sped up the move startup, so better beams all around, right? That's good. Soul Strike Heavy. This is the EX version of his Rekka. Increase the duration of the initial attack, increase distance moved during the grounded version of the attack, and increase delay when the grounded version misses. So basically, the move is a little better, but if you whiff it, it's worse, and the grounded version will go further out. So I think they're trying to encourage you to use it in neutral, the way it is raw. It's kind of thrown out, and so better distance given, but bigger penalty on whiff. Also, the assist. So his A assist, increase distance moved during the attack. Hey, that's awesome. I already went pretty far. Increase the active frames during the attack as well. The B assist, sped up the move startup, which is good because it's a little bit anemic compared to some of the other uppercut assists. And also increase the distance moved during the attack. I'm assuming forward, because one of the reasons why it wasn't as good as the other uppercut assists is it didn't move forward barely at all, right? It was cool because it could break armor because it's multi-hitting, but yeah, so I'm assuming it's just a much better move all around. For Dragon Ball Super Broly, not too much. So just his A assist, increase hit stop when the attack lands. So basically when the assist connects, the hit stop, it'll hold him in place just for a little bit longer. It'll make combos easier across the board, basically is the big change there. Kefla only change is same as Piccolo's, their Hell Zone style move. It will basically be easier to see in a lot of the garbage explosions. So if you reflect the moves, no explosion, pure visual clarity. And UI Goku. Basically not changed at all. Embodied light, that's the flip move. Adjusted the distance move before performing attack. I don't know how much, but probably not much at all. And a bug fix. So yeah, he's still going to dominate the game until there's a Season 4, until there's a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2. He's the same. And that is the patch notes as we now have them. It was awesome of the Dragon Ball FighterZ Show to put them out there in English. Normally we have to struggle about getting English patch notes. So the patch will be out on the 15th. I will put out a video of a visual guide to go over everything because sometimes just text doesn't fully explain the story. So when that hits, look forward to that. And day after will be Master Roshi for Season Pass holders. And if you don't have a Season Pass, Roshi will be out on the 18th. So big things for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Looking forward to it. And until then, my friends, that's the end of this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.